Hi folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. Today I have a review of a product that many of you will probably be interested in. If you have seen any of my videos, you know that often I have a set of over-the-ear headphones hanging on my head, and I wear them so often I forget that they're there. I actually listen to audiobooks at night with these because the battery life on the aftershocks, these are my favorite. They're bone conducting, but they have some drawbacks. So I actually have another product that I want to review, setting aside my beloved aftershocks. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you Apple's Airpods. These are the second generation Airpods Pro to be exact. Now, I put off buying these. I love Apple products. I use an iPhone. I use iPads. For quite a while, I used a MacBook, but I switched back to the Windows-based PCs for a reason I won't get into here. But I put off buying these. I got an Apple Watch too. I put off buying these for one reason and one reason alone. The cost I considered to be prohibitive. At a roughly $250, $250, $259, I thought that this is just ridiculous for a pair of earbuds, especially because the original offering of the Apple AirPods were without the little rubber tips, and I personally found that stuff falls out of my ears. So before buying these, I bought a number of knockoffs, actual earbuds that went into the ear. I remember one pair I got for $20 to $25 was the Impal brand, which I thought worked pretty well for a while. They gave out, or well, they still worked, but the noise cancellation feature stopped working. And then I bought a couple of other brands that were off brands. I don't remember the name, but you know, $20, $30, $35, that kind of thing, thinking, you know, this is just not worth it. So about a year ago or so, it's July now, maybe as it approached Christmas of last year with the sales on Amazon, I found a set of AirPods for $100 off. That's $150 retail rather than the $250. So I bit the bullet and I bought them. So I've used them now for several months, and I will tell you that I am very pleasantly surprised. First of all, with the AirPod Pros, and this is the second generation, they do have the rubber tip on these, and I find that they go in my ear, and I have had them almost never pop out. I'm amazed at that. So the fit is good. They offer multiple tips so you can fit the canal of your ear, but they worked really well. The second thing I noticed about these is the connectivity. The connectivity is far superior to anything else I've had. In terms of connecting to Apple-based products, when I when I put these in my ear, they connected to my iPhone. When I am, my iPhone's in my case over here, and I pick up my iPad without me having to push any buttons, they automatically connect to my iPad. I take a phone call, reach and get my phone, and usually they connect immediately without me doing anything. So connectivity is a great thing. I am something of an audiophile. I love music. I have listened to music since I was a pre-adolescent kid. I'll tell you how old I am. I started listening to music when the Monkees were still popular. So be that as it may. So the sound quality is really good. Now, I have some hearing damage. I have tinnitus all the time. So fidelity of sound is really important to me. Now, with the AirShocks, or aftershocks, I should say, the connectivity is fine, but you have to manually connect them to the device that you want. Sound quality is sufficient if you don't mind listening to an AM radio. You do not get depth of fidelity with these, so you're not going to get those really rich basses, and you're not going to get the clear upper range. Now, when I'm listening to this, it doesn't bother me. But when I switch, I'm like, wow, what a difference. So the sound of these is incredible. And of course, you get charging from the case. So I charge this case once every week or two, depending on how much I'm needing it, and use these on and off every day. Typically what I'll do, I told you I wear these all night. So when I get up in the morning, I put these on a charger and I'll wear these, and often I'll do the same in the evening. And depending on the application, the drawback of these is when they are in your ear. They have both the benefit and the drawback of having excellent noise cancellation. Now, when I'm working on the back of the tractor, riding the mower, running a chainsaw, running a wood splitter. When I'm using mechanical equipment, when I have these, I take a pair of muffs and put over my ears, sound reducing muffs. That allows me to listen. I use these for continuing education, podcasts, and all that good stuff, plus the music. But a set of muffs, these things fit over your ears, so you've got this wire behind you, and the muffs have to cover both your ear as well as the earpiece itself. When these go in your ear, at first I was putting a set of muffs, I use actually shooter's muffs because they give good sound reduction. I was putting those over the top of these, and it worked fine. But one day I went out and I had the earphones in, and another benefit of these, I'll tell you, you can use one earphone or two. That way, if you need to hear something, you don't have to be a victim of the noise cancellation. But I went out one day and I forgot my muffs, and I cranked the mower and I ran the mower, and I was listening to a book, on an audio book. I heard every word. Running a chainsaw, I heard every word. On the tractor, running all the equipment that I would typically run, weed eater, I didn't have a problem. If you're not familiar with noise cancellation, what noise cancellation does, it takes the sound that is coming in and basically reverses it. So for every amplitude of sound, it gives an equal amplitude of sound in the opposite direction. So in effect, it deadens the sound. I have found that to be the most impressive feature of the AirPods. It has excellent noise reduction. Now, battery life. Once I put these on, I listened to these. I went to bed at a little after 9 o'clock last night, and I'm listening to an audio book, and I got up just before 5 a.m. this morning. So they've run 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 hours. Not bad. And they still, the battery rates itself low, medium, and high. They were still on medium charge. So I could probably use this most of today and be fine. When I'm using these, depending on whether I'm listening to an audio book or perhaps music and the volume I'm listening to it, but 4 or 5 hours is going to push these to the limit. You pop them back in the case, and in 15 minutes, you've got a respectable charge and can go back to work. So the charge is very convenient because it's rare that I'm going to need 4 consecutive hours during the daylight to use these. Would I buy these again? At $250, doubtful. And that's a matter of my budget, not a matter of what these are worth. At $150, yes, I would. Having tried 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 other brands of earbuds of one form or another. Let's say I spend an average of $25 a piece on that. That's $100. This one set is far better than the 4 I bought and 2 that I haven't. So at $150, this is a bargain. Right now, we're having Amazon Prime days, and the standard discount that I see, usually you can find these for about $200. Would I spend $200 on them? If these break or if I lose them, I will want another pair. I can tell you that. So being the cheapskate, I'm going to wait and wait and wait until either I have built up some credit using my Amazon card or they put on a great sale. There's one other feature to these that I absolutely love. If you don't use Apple products, there are other pieces of software that will do this. But Apple has some software called Find My Phone. And it allows me to trace every one of my devices. So if I misplace this, I can whip out my phone, pull up the Find My Phone feature, hit devices, and it'll show me where all my devices are, and I get a GPS map. The other thing, if you lose this in the house, and sometimes I'll have this in my pant pockets, and I'll come in the evening and shuck off my jeans and put on shorts to be around the house and forget where these were. You can send a signal and it will send out a beep. So they are really easy to find. So the AirPods Pro are an excellent product in my experience with off brands. Now, I've not owned the Bose earbuds and some of the other premium quality earbuds, but frankly, I feel like if you buy one premium pair, you shouldn't need to compare them to others. So with what I have compared with the off brands, this thing is unmatched. I love the fact also some of the earbuds that I have had over the years, I can wear them in my ears for an hour or two and then they become uncomfortable. You feel a little soreness. With these, I've not had that trouble at all. I also enjoy, I've got large fingers. They have the on and off, rather than some of the ones that have a little metal stud that you touch and it kind of operates by touch. These actually have a button. You don't see it here, but it's a button that you depress. So you actually get a physical button. And then on the side here, I guess it's this black piece, but volume down, slide your finger down, volume up, slide your finger up. When I first got these AirPods, that was a little difficult for me to get used to because it's very specific where you touch the things in your ear. I know where it is here much easier than I know where it is here because I do it by feel and not by sight. Once I figured that out, it was great. So if you're looking for a good quality earbud, and by the way, these recharge with a USB-C plug, which so many things have that now. I like charging cables that have multiple purposes or multiple applications. So my GoPro uses USB-C, my AirPods use USB-C, my iPad uses USB-C. So I really like the more broad-based application. The old Apple Lightning cable, it only fit an Apple. So I was glad when they made this a more universal fit. So for my money, the AirPods, especially when you can get some discount, is a really, really good product. Do I think they could build this for a lot cheaper? Yes, I do. Corporations, when they give you something that, when you offer something that other people don't have, you can charge a premium, and that's what Apple does, and I'm sure the others do as well. So for your money, yes, I love the Apple AirPods. I'm sorry, not iPods. iPods, that's a dead technology now. The AirPods are a great resource for me. The fact that I can take these off and this fits into my pocket so very easily. The case is magnetic, so there's no physical clasp, and yet I don't have any trouble with the magnetic lid coming open in my pocket or otherwise. I think I dropped them one time, and yeah, it's going to pop open if you drop. It also has an indicator light on the front, so when I open this and close this, you can see it's time for me to charge these. I like that feature. I don't need a big display. It tells me it's time to recharge my case. When I open my iPad and I open this case, the software gives me a display and shows me the percentage of the battery life of the case and the percentage of each separate earbud. So you get a lot of good information from Apple on these. So would I buy them again? Yeah, I would. I'd bite the bullet. I'd look around to see if I could get a discount, but I really like these. Now here in the office where I'm at today, that's where I don't like them. Don't like them is maybe not exactly the right word. This is where I don't use them, because to get that fidelity, I want both earbuds in. With one earbud, especially with my hearing, I lose the depth of sound that I appreciate. And the other thing is I want to be able to answer the phone, so that the earbud, you have to physically take it out. With these, I just put the phone right over it and there's no problem at all. So for your viewing pleasure then, that's my review of the Apple AirPods Pro. I've not tried the earlier generation of these. The reviews that I read said that this one had the best fidelity of sound and the best noise cancellation. And if you're in an area where you need really good noise cancellation, these are it. Now, guys, this one will get you in trouble with your wife, because sometimes, especially late in the evening, if I'm listening to a good audiobook, we've had supper, I've watched the news, I'll pop these in, I'll be listening, and I'll look over there and my wife is, her mouth is moving and I don't hear it, and I have to take one out, and she's like, "Did you not hear what I said?" And I'm like, sorry, hon. Now, some of you might think that's actually a good thing, but my point is the noise cancellation is very, very effective. So I'm the Bald Guy. I hope you'll leave us a like. I hope you have subscribed to the channel. And if you have ideas for reviews that I might be able to do, certainly send me a note, comment on any of the videos, and we'll see you next time.